Good evening. Good evening. Wow, that came quickly. I am honored to be here at what the insiders tell me is the social justice prom. It's an even greater honor to present our next award, our next honoree. I think it was around the year 2000. I tried to verify it with him. He told me 2001, but I believe it was really 2000. My cousin came to visit me at my Brooklyn brownstone, and she brought two other friends with her from Michigan. And I recall nothing about my cousin from that weekend, but one of her friends, I do remember. He made such an impression on me and my neighbors and my dog. We missed him immediately following his departure that weekend. And I remember thinking, this kid is going places. As most people do, I took an immediate liking to Mike Muse. He told me about his dream to move to New York City, having recently graduated from the University of Michigan, and I watched him make that happen. Mike was the classic upstart with big dreams of making it big in New York City, the city that never sleeps. And Mike didn't sleep. I watched him as he became more and more politically active, politically connected, a young man who effortlessly brought together pop culture, music, and politics. He started as a volunteer for the Obama campaign in 2008, and then rose to prominence as a part of the Tri-State Finance Committee for the Obama campaign. He also founded an entertainment company called Muse Recordings. He has written articles, and he has spoken at various media outlets for major companies. I've watched as Mike has engaged younger people into taking action in their communities and the electoral process. And through this work, he became awarded, as the youngest person ever selected for the 100 Black Men of America Achievement Award. I am so pleased that the North Star Fund community is honoring Mike with this award tonight. One, it proves that I was right about him so many years ago, and I love being right. More importantly, it recognizes him in a community of leaders and activists who love the city of New York enough to help make it a better place for all of us. Please welcome your 2015 North Star awardee, my dear friend, Mike Muse.
Great music, first of all. Thank you for that walk-on music. Dawanna Williams, thank you so much. Those words were absolutely incredible. I couldn't have thought of a better person to bring me up here on this stage than you, my sister. You are a dynamic force here in New York City. You are one of New York City's best pillars that this city has to offer. You have constantly raised the bar for me to see what is possible. So I thank you for that blueprint. Thank you, Dawanna, for that. Dawanna, as she's mentioned, has seen my evolution, and I began listening to Hugh speak so eloquently about activism and the community of activism. I began to think about my life, and I began to think about how I came into becoming an activist. It wasn't a word that I was actually comfortable with. I dared not stand on the same shoulders as the individuals in this room. I dared not say I'm not doing enough. I said that I'm not the one who's on the front line. I'm not the one who's marching, so I don't deserve that banner of an activist. But as I began to rise in the rooms of notable politicians and senators and the President of the United States, I began to think about my community. And I began to think about the space that I was occupying. And I began to say, how dare I sit in this room and not raise my hand? How dare I sit in this room and not question authority? How dare I not bring the spirit of my community into the room and stand up for them and their voices? And at the same time, how dare I not then take it back to my community and tell them what I've learned, tell them what I've been exposed to, and then impart the tools that they need to make change in their lives. And then there too, they can be called activists. And it is in that that moment that I said, I am an activist. I am doing it my way. It may not be as marching in the bullhorn. It may not be on the front lines of the streets. And it may not be interrupting stakeholder meetings in Texas, Zeus. But it means that you can do it within your own lifestyle. As I begin and look at Table 9, I look at the individuals, my friends in music and in fashion and sports and entertainment. And I look at Table 11, and I begin to see them in opera and magazines and editorial. I engage them and say, you have a responsibility to stand up for what you believe in, and therefore you are an activist. Don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid to do it in your own way and in your own uniqueness. And then therefore I stand humbly and accept this award as an honoree because I now can call myself an activist. And so I thank you, North Star Fund, for this privilege and this honor to stand here before you this evening. Thank you, Arbor Rice, for nominating me. To Hugh Hogan, you have a fantastic organization. To Kofo, to Krista, you've been amazing. And as my friend Lloyd Lewis says, this has been so good. Thank you.